How's it going, everybody? Welcome to today's stick mobility class. I am Coach Ray. Thank you for joining me today. So for today's class, I do have two long sticks with me. Also have a kettlebell and a bench and a pad. So for today's class, we are going to get into some hinge specific drills. So we're really mainly going to be using a kettlebell to do some kettlebell swings. It's going to be a two-handed swing here. We're going to be throwing in some drills in between doing the kettlebell swings, not only to give more awareness, but also work on strengthening that posterior chain. We're also going to get into working on the hips and glutes quite a bit. So we're going to specifically get into some hip abduction and hip extension drills. And we may throw in a core drill here at the end, assuming we've got enough time here. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to work from the neck down today, all right? So I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to use both sticks here. Now, I want to make sure that I'm in a nice and tall position. Now I want to have my hands at roughly about shoulder height, arms straight out here. I want to have my feet about roughly hip to shoulder width apart. And from here, I want to squeeze my glutes. This is going to bring my hips forward, and I want to bring my rib cage down a bit and drive the sticks into the floor about 20 to 30% tension. Now looking forward, I want to keep my head neutral as I possibly can. I'm going to pull my chin back. So I'm going to get that neck into extension, like I'm trying to create a double chin. And then I'm going to tilt my chin up towards the ceiling. Back down. So keeping that neck in extension. Then I'm going to rotate to the right. Good. Rotate to the left. Only want the neck moving. Back forward, and then down. Back up. Let's go through that one more time. Chin up. Down. Rotate to the right. Excellent. Rotate to the left. Back to center. Then down. Excellent. Back up and ease off. Now we're going to go with tilting left to right. So it's really important here that we only tilt the head. We don't want any kind of rotation as we go into this tilt here. So we want some disassociation. So from here, arms are at shoulder height again. Feet are about roughly hip to shoulder width apart. Going to squat down a little bit. Glutes tight. So drive both sticks down. I'm going to pull my chin back. Then I'm going to tilt my right ear to my right shoulder. You want to drive that left stick down reflexively harder here. Back up to center. Now tilt the head to the left. Breathe. Back up. Tilt the head to the right. Back up, tilt the head to the left. Excellent. Back up. Keep that chin back, so neck and extension. We're going to tilt and now rotate. So I'm going to tilt my ear towards my right shoulder, and I'm going to rotate from this position. There you go. Breathe. Just two rotations here. Back to center. Come up. Now go to the left. Rotate. Keep that head tilted. Rotate again. Back to center. Come up and ease off. Excellent. Good. We're going to place one stick down. And now we're going to work with some ninja flow here. So we want to loosen up that T-spine a bit. So I'm going to take a pretty wide stance here. Again, it's going to always depend on you and what you're most comfortable with. I want to have my stick on the inside of my right foot here. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to create some tension by creating a bow in and out of the stick here as we go along. So I'm gonna have my hand at roughly about face level. You can have it up a little higher if you'd like. And so from here, I'm gonna lightly drive that stick down, and then I'm going to hinge back. I want the stick to come to the side in line with my rib cage here. Now from here, I'm gonna reach across with my left hand, thumb facing down towards the floor, and I'm gonna pull that stick apart, and I'm gonna lunge to my left. Good. Then I'm gonna lunge over to the right. Really drive off that left leg here. Excellent. Lunge to the left. Keep pulling the stick apart. Now lunge to the right. Make sure you're driving those hips back. That's extremely important here. Back to center. Let go with the left hand. Come up and ease off. Now we're going to switch sides. We're going to come back to that side and add in that push-pull I was talking about. So, hands at the same height. Drive that stick down. Really lightly, only about 20% tension. Get a good hang going here. Feel the chest and the shoulders open up. I'm going to take my right hand, reach across, thumb facing down towards the floor. Now I'm going to pull the stick apart, lunge to my right. Now to the left. Make sure you're breathing here, folks. Now to the right. Make sure you're driving those hips back. Now to the left. Excellent. Back to center. Let go with the right hand. Come up and ease off. Now we're going to switch back over to the right. What's different is that left hand is now going to be right about where the sticker is here. So right hand is about, again, face level. So we're going to do that same thing. We're going to hinge, get a good hang going here. Now I'm going to place my left hand across right on the sticker. Now I can move your right hand up a little higher if you'd like. And what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to pull in with that left hand, create a bow. Now I'm going to lunge to my left. Excellent. Come back to center. I'm going to lunge to my right and now push the stick out. Excellent. Back to center. Now I'm going to do the opposite. So now I'm going to push, drive that stick out. Now lunge to the left, driving off that right leg. Excellent. Back up. Now I'm going to pull the stick in, lunge to my right. Back to center. Ease off with that left hand. Come up and relax. Excellent. I'm going to show from the side here. So I'm going to switch sides. The bottom of the stick is now going to be inside my left foot. And we're going to go through those same things. So hand is driving that stick down lightly. Going to first hinge back. Now from here, go ahead and grab right where the sticker is. First thing, sorry, I need to adjust my stick. First thing, I want to pull with that right hand, lunge to the right. Excellent. Good. Come back up, push with the right, lunge to the left. Excellent. Keep pushing, lunge to the right. Gonna get a lot more rotation, a lot more activation. Come back up to center, pull in with the right, lunge to the left. Excellent. Back to center, ease off, let go with the right hand, come up and relax. Excellent. It's going to wiggle those feet in. Now, we want to kind of segment the spine. We're going to get in a little bit of lateral flexion. So I'm going to take the stick, place it behind my upper back. Now for me, I like to have it right on top of my rear delts here. So a little below the traps. So from here, feet are roughly hip width apart, toes are facing forward. My hands are stretched out on the stick. Okay, it's done within the tension. So I want both of my hands on top of the stick here because it's going to help me create more tension. So standing up nice and tall, pulling that chin back, gripping the ground with the toes. I'm going to laterally flex to my right. Now I want to push down with that right hand. Come back up. Excellent. Now I'm going to go to my left. Push down with that left hand. Get as much lateral flexion as you can. Laterally flex to the right. Breathe. Back up. You're going to feel those lateral tissues stretch out here. Push, pull in with that left hand. Let's go one more time each way. Lateral flex to the right. Pull that right hand in towards you. Back up. Now to the left. Excellent. Back up and ease off. Now we're going to work on the hips. So again, we're doing some kettlebell swings, so I want to make sure that the hips can articulate a good stable position. So we're going to work with pelvic tilts, and our foot position is going to be the same position as we are going to do when we do kettlebell swings. So for me, I tend to like to go about shoulder width, maybe a slight bit wider. Now I want to maintain this position because this is going to be position specific. So I'll actually turn a little bit to the side here. Now the bottoms of the sticks are angled in towards me, and I have my hands about roughly chest height. Now both sticks are on the inside of both feet. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to drop down, and I want to make sure I maintain a good, nice and tall, stable position. Now keeping my rib cage down, don't want it to flare out. Okay, keeping the rib cage down. I want to drive the sticks into the floor, about 30% tension. Now I'm going to do pelvic tilts. I'm going to do anterior, posterior. So I'm going to do posterior tilt first. So tuck the pelvis in, squeeze the glutes, drive those knees apart. That's extremely important. Make sure we're getting the entire glute active here, folks. Now I'm going to do an anterior tilt. Good. Keep that rib cage where it's at. Posterior tilt. You just want movement from the pelvis. Anterior tilt. Keep that tension the entire time. Posterior tilt. Grip the ground with those toes. Drive those knees apart. Anterior tilt. Let's go one more time. Posterior tilt. Excellent. Anterior tilt. Wonderful. Going to come back to neutral. Now we're going to do here, we're going to effectively go into a swing style position. So from this position, still driving those sticks down, I'm going to hinge, driving my hips back, allowing my arms to drift forward. Come up, squeeze the glutes to a nice tall position, lock those knees out. Do it again. Keep driving the sticks down. Hinge, back up, squeeze the glutes. Let's go a couple more. Hips back, hinge, hinge, hinge. Back up, squeeze those glutes. Let's go one last time here, folks. Hips back. Back up, squeeze those glutes, and ease off. Excellent. So now we're going to go with working with the feet. Just want to get the feet a little stable, a little active here. So I'm going to have both feet roughly about shoulder width apart. Both toes are forward. I want to have the sticks about roughly in line with my big toe here. Doesn't have to be perfect necessarily, but we're just using the sticks for balance. So I'm going to have my hands roughly about shoulder height. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to squat down a little bit, keep that pelvis tucked, and I'm going to bring my right heel up. All 5 toes are in contact with the floor. Now I'm going to bring my left heel up, drop my right heel down. Good. Right heel up, left heel down. Left heel up, right heel down. You don't want the level of your hips or torso to change. Right heel up, left heel down. Remember, we're just using the sticks for balance. Left heel up, right heel down. Good. Right heel up, left heel down. Excellent. Left heel up, right heel down. Bring both heels up. Hold that position. Lift the right stick. lift the left stick, hover, place both sticks down. Good. Lift the left stick, lift the right stick, hold that position. Good, place them down. Bring both heels down nice and slow and ease off. Now we're just gonna go with a little bit of hip rotation, just trying to get a little bit more feedback to the hips here. So I'm gonna have both feet close together, and I wanna make sure that when I bring that hip up, that is right in the middle of the sticks. We don't want it crossing our center line here. So I'm gonna start with my right hip in flexion. So angle the sticks in towards you. You see how my alignment is, that my right foot's in the middle, and I want to keep that alignment. Now arms are straight, drive the sticks down, about 20% tension. I want to bring that right hip up. Good. Let's internally and externally rotate. So I'm going to internally rotate first, push my heel against the right stick. Good. Externally rotate, push against the left. Back to center, internally rotate. Good. Externally rotate. Internally rotate. Externally rotate. Back to center. Down. And ease off. We're going to switch sides. Again, just getting a little bit of feedback. Arms straight. Drive those sticks down. Make sure that right foot is grounded. Bring that left hip up. Externally rotate. Good. Internally rotate. Externally rotate. Internally rotate. Excellent. One more time. Externally rotate. Internally rotate. Back to center. Down. And ease off. Excellent. So now we're going to get into working with the kettlebell swings. All right. So now from here on out, right. So now we're going to get into our kettlebell swing superset. So a kettlebell swing will be at the end of what we're going to get into here. We're first going to get into a single leg RDL, so we are going to need the corner of a wall for us to drive the sticks into. We're also going to get into okay, so now we're going to get into our superset here. So I already got the kettlebell set up right next to me because we are going to go from one thing to the next. We're going to first get into the single leg RDL, so we are going to need the corner of a wall for us to press into. Again, this is priming that hip hinging movement a little bit more specifically. Then we're going to get into the kettlebell swing. We're going to do, let's do 10 to 15 reps, depending on how good you're feeling. After such, we're going to do a hip abduction drill, so really going to burn those glutes out, all right? So I'm going to set up the sticks right here. Again, driving back, pushing into the corner of a wall. I want the sticks right outside my hips here. Now I want to make sure that I keep whatever foot that's grounded active the entire time. So grab that ground with the foot. So I'm going to start with my right foot grounded. I want to have both arms straight, slightly in front of my hips here. Now, first thing I want to do, drive the sticks back, grab the ground with the right foot, hover the left, and I'm going to slowly hinge, driving those sticks back, getting that posterior chain active. Come up, keep that left foot hovering. Hinge again. Keep a good stable position. Up. Let's go one more. Grab that heel back. Back up. And ease off. Excellent. Now we're going to switch over to the other side. Left foot stays grounded. Grip the ground with those toes. Over the right. Hinge. Up. Good. It's one. Up. Two. One more time. Up. Three. Excellent. Ease off. Gonna place the sticks down for now. And now we're gonna get into those kettlebell swings. So we're gonna start with the kettlebell in front, then we're gonna pull back into the swing. So again, remember we're going about 10 to 15 reps here. I'm gonna shoot for 15. So both hands on the kettlebell, wanna be in a hinge position, gonna tilt it back towards me, then I'm gonna pull in. So my foot stance is wider than shoulder width. So pull back, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Come out of it slow. Excellent. Place that down. Now we're going to pick up the sticks again. And we're going to get into hip abduction. So we're going to have both sticks angled at 3 and 9. Both feet are forward. Hands are about roughly shoulder height. Now remember, grip the ground with the toes. So I want to drive both sticks down. Sticks are about roughly a foot from the outside of my feet. I'm going to bring my left foot or right foot up off the floor. Bring it to the right stick. Push. 60% tension. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back in. Ease off that tension. We're going to go 2 more reps. Arms straight. Drive both sticks down. Hover that right foot. Push with the outside of your foot. Keep those toes facing forward. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in. Ease off. Let's go one more time. Still 60% here, folks. Drive both sticks down. Hover the right foot. Bring it to the right stick. Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in and ease off. Good. Now we're going to switch over to the other side. Drive both sticks down. Hover the right foot. Bring it to the left stick. Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in. Ease off. We got 2 more. Drop both sticks down. Hover the left foot. Bring it to the stick. Push. Control your breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in. Ease off. We got 1 more time. Drop both sticks down. Over the left foot. Bring it to the left stick. Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And ease off. Relax. Take a second. We're going to get into another set again. So again, we're not only priming the movement, we're priming a hinge pattern, but we're actually also going through a hinge pattern and at the same time going through some abduction here. So we're getting hip extension and abduction at the same time. However, we still got more drills to do after this. So let's get into this again. So sticks are behind. All right. Make sure you got both feet together. Hands are straight down. Make sure grabbing the ground with the foot. Drive the sticks back. Hover that left foot. Hinge. Back up. Good. Hinge. Drive that heel back. Back up. Good. Let's go one more time. Back up. Ease off. Good. Switch over to the left foot now. Drive those sticks back. 50-60%. Hover the right foot. Hinge. Up. Good. Hinge. Drive that right heel back. Up. And just go one more time. Keep driving those sticks back. Drive, drive, drive. Up. And ease off. Good. Place the sticks down. Last set of swings. Doing good, everybody. So remember, try to control your breathing as much as you can. Let's get set in position. Now the kettlebell, I'm going to pull it in, and then we're going to start. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Dismount. Excellent. Now we're going to get into the hip abduction again. We're going to take the sticks. Feet together. So we can actually bring the bottoms of the sticks out wider if we want more of a challenge here. So let's actually do that. Let's bring them out a little wider. Increase that range of motion, that demand. So arms are straight out at shoulder height. Drive the sticks down. 70%, we're going to do 5-second holds. Start with hovering that right foot, bring it to the right stick. Don't let the position of your body change. Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in. Ease off. Let's go 2 more. 70%, drive down. Hover that right foot. Bring it to the right stick. Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Back in. Ease off. Let's go one more time here. Drive the sticks down. Hover that right foot. Bring it to the right stick. Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in. And ease off. Excellent. Switch over to the other side. Drive the sticks down. Hover the left foot. Bring it to the left stick. Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in. Ease off. Excellent. Let's go 2 more. Drive the sticks down. Hover. Bring it to the left stick and push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in. And ease off. One more time. Drive both sticks down. Hover the left. Bring it to the left stick. Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and ease off. Excellent. Good. So hips should be feeling pretty good right now. So now we're going to get into working with the adductors a bit. And so for this one, we're going to go a squat specific position. All right. So we're still going to need to use a corner of a wall here. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to angle the sticks through my legs. Now, I want them on the inside here. So the objective here is we're not only going to squat, but we're going to compress the sticks. So we're going to get some adductor tension as we go along here. So we're actually going to be in a position where we can generate more tension by pulling the sticks outward more, which is going to generate more upper back tension as well. So take whatever squat stance tends to be most comfortable for you. Now I'm going to go with a slight toe out angle. Make sure those feet are active. So I have my hands at the ends of both sticks here. What I want to do is I want to immediately start on creating that tension. So I'm going to pull the sticks out. I'm going to feel my upper back activate, but also resisting that abduction. So I'm getting those adductors active. Now I'm going to start to slowly squat down. Keeping that tension. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. Keep pulling the sticks apart. And ease off. Excellent. So we're going to feel the adductor line get active. Also getting that posterior chain active. So let's go 2 more repetitions. Pull the sticks apart. Good. Make sure you're gripping the ground. Squat down to a depth that's most comfortable. Keep driving the sticks apart. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up. And he's off. Gonna go one more time here. Rotate the sticks. Okay, pull the sticks out. Create that tension. Squat down. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back up. And ease off. Perfect. Good. Now we're going to finish off with a core drill. We're going to work with a standing plank with some rotation. So I'm going to have my feet roughly about shoulder width apart. Toes are going to be forward. Now, the aspect of the rotation is going to come from the sticks and keeping the hips facing forward. We always want those hips squared here. So the bottom of the sticks are in towards me, and they're in line with the toes of both foot, of our big toe of both feet. Now my hands are going to be roughly about shoulder height. From here, I want to make sure that I squeeze my glutes a little bit, keeping my chest nice and tall, but not flaring my rib cage out. So I want to keep the ribs down. Now what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to drive the sticks down 60%, push. You should be feeling those anterior core tissues turn on. Now we're going to rotate. I'm going to rotate the sticks along with my shoulders to the left. As you do that, you're going to feel the obliques turn on. Keeping those hips facing forward. Now I'm going to come back to center, and now I'm going to rotate to the right. Drive that right hip forward. Feel those obliques turn on. Back to center. Rotate to the left again. Keep that tension. Back to center. Good. Rotate to the right. Excellent. Keep driving those sticks down. Don't lose that tension. One more time each way. Rotate to the left. Back to center and rotate to the right. Excellent. Back to center and ease off. Excellent. Good. All right, so kind of went over everything. Now we're going to switch gears. We're going to get into our deep fascial stretching. So I do really want to focus on the hips quite a bit here. So we're going to work on loosening everything up. So I'm going to work first with external rotation of the hips. So I'm going to have the bench here in front and the pad, at least for the first part. This is where we're going to need it because we do want our back foot to be on our back leg to be on the pad here. Now I'm going to have the sticks in front of the bench here, and I want to have one leg propped up on the bench in external rotation. So I'm going to have my left leg up. I'm going to be here. Now what I want to do from this position, if you can get that back leg down, then do so. If you can't, if it's too much, you can just have it hover. So I'm going to have my hands roughly about shoulder height, maybe about face height, all depends. From this position, I'm going to drive that front leg down, and then I'm going to hinge forward. You're going to feel a stretch in that glute. Then I'm going to come back up. Excellent. Drive those sticks down about 20%. Hinge forward. Back up. Excellent. Keep driving that foot down, that leg down. Drive the sticks down. Hinge forward. Now I'm going to rotate to my left. So my left leg is forward. Rotating to the left. Now I'm going to get a bigger stretch on that glute. Back to center. Come up. Going to use the sticks to assist us up. Now we're going to switch sides. So one side's typically going to be tighter than the other, and for me, I'm actually not dropping that back leg or back knee down, but it's going to depend on you and how mobile and flexible you are. Always keep within your limits here. So, right leg's on a bench here. We're going to go through that same thing. So So from here, drive the knee and drive front leg down, drive the sticks down, hinge. Back up. Good. Hinge forward. Good. Back up. All right, now we're going to hinge forward and rotate. So hinge forward, rotate to the right. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Come up. Then assist yourself out. Excellent. I'm going to move the bench over. We don't need it anymore at this point. Now we're going to work on the hips here. So I'm going to have the pad back a bit more. And I want to have both sticks still important. So we're first going to go with a forward hip flexor, then we're going to get into those short adductors. So from here, I want my left leg forward, right knee is down, the right foot is in alignment with this right hip. Now we're going to drive, we're going to have the both sticks at the arch of the left foot or front foot here. And what I want to do is I want to drive the sticks down about 20% tension. I want to drive that back foot down, squeeze the right glute and tuck the pelvis. Now that right there is probably going to be a stretch for most of us here. You're going to hold that. Focus on your breathing. We're going to ease off. Okay, this next one, we're going to shift forward, shift hips forward, going into that stretch. So drive both sticks down, drive that back foot down, tuck the pelvis and squeeze the right glute. Shift forward. Try splitting those hips. Keep the chest up nice and tall. 3, 2, 1, and slowly back off. Excellent. Now I'm going to move this left leg out at a 45-degree angle. This is where we get into that short adductor here. Not only are we going to transition forward in the same direction as the foot is facing, but we're also going to add in rotating towards our back leg. So this is going to further increase that stretch. So legs out at a 45-degree angle. I want my toes pointed outwards. Both sticks are still in front. I'm going to drive the back foot down, squeeze that glute, and I'm going to shift forward towards that front leg. So you might be getting a stretch already in that short adductor. That's good. What we're going to do here is we're going to lightly rotate to the right, just the shoulders. Hold. Come back to center. Come out. Ease off. We're going to do that one more time. So drive the sticks down, drive the back foot down, squeeze the glute, shift towards that front leg. Allow those adductors to open up. Rotate to the right. Three, 2, 1, back to center. And ease off. Now we're going to switch sides. So I'll actually show my opposite side from the side here. So I'm going to have my right leg forward, back foot, top of the foot is into the floor here. Going to have the bottoms of the sticks in line with the arches of my feet. So we're going to go through those same progressions. Drive both sticks down, drive that back foot into the floor, squeeze the left glute, tuck the pelvis. Hold that stretch there. Breathe. 3, 2, 1, and ease off. Excellent. We're going to do that again. Now we're going to shift forward. So drive both sticks down, drive that back foot into the floor, squeeze the left glute, tuck the pelvis, and shift the hips forward a bit. Really get a good stretch. So we don't want to drive the hips forward at the low back. You want everything moving in a good stable position. Everything stays stacked. Good. We're going to slowly ease off here and relax. Now, I'm going to go from a little bit of a different angle. So I'm going to have this right foot out. So my hips are facing this direction. My left hip is. Right foot is out at a 45-degree angle. We're going to do those same things. So drive the back foot down, drive the six into the floor, squeeze the left glute, shift towards that right leg. Now rotate to the left a bit. Come back forward, slowly come back and ease off. We're going to do that one more time here. So drive both sticks down, drive the back foot into the floor, squeeze the left glute, shift forward towards that leg. Pull that short adductor, get a good stretch going here. Rotate to the left. 3, 2, 1. Back forward, ease off, and relax. Excellent. Good. So now we're going to get into the slap shot because I do want to open up that T-spine. So we're only going to need one stick here. Going to move this over to the side. Now, just like the Ninja Flow, we only want to keep the foot distance to whatever is most comfortable for you. So I'm going to take the stick, place it behind my mid-back, and I'm going to take a wide stance. Feet are going to be angled out a bit here. This tends to be what's most comfortable. But again, always going to be dependent on you. So from here, having the stick at about roughly mid-back, I'm going to hinge, driving my hips back. Going to feel a stretch in the hamstrings. Probably going to feel pretty good. Let's hang out here for a second. Focus on that breathing. It's really important here. I'm going to take the left end of the stick, rotate it down to my center line. Now from here, I'm going to pull the stick apart, get that upper back activation, and I'm going to drive my hips towards my left side. So I'm going to do a Cossack squat. You're going to feel that chest open up a bit. Now I'm going to lunge over to my right, driving off that left leg, feeling that left adductor get active here. Good. Lunge to the left, driving off that right foot. Now I'm going to take my left hand off, reach towards my right. Good. Place the left hand back down. Lunge back over to the right side. Excellent. Back to center. Good. I'm going to slowly come out. Now I'm going to do the opposite on the right side. Same thing on the right side. So bring the bottom of the stick into the center line. Pull the stick apart. Lunge to the right. Driving those hips back. Excellent. Lunge to the left. Lunge to the right. Reach across with the right hand. Excellent. Lunge to the left. Good. Back to center. Come back to neutral. Squeeze the glutes to come up. Excellent. Wiggle those feet in. And perfect. And that, my friends, concludes today's stick mobility class. I want to thank you guys again for joining me. Hope everybody had a good class. Wanted to throw in some kettlebell swings. Really get some hip hinging specific types of movements in. I'll be sure to catch you on the next one. Stay safe. Have a good one.